in real life, everything would just collapse inwards because gravity. You know, I've never actually counted how long the whole network is. Because we're counting this in terms of kilometers, right? Oops. Put that back. And 1, 2, 3, put that back. Also, I don't actually know how much better the auto-click makes this, like how much faster doing this. Is compared to what I did before. Oh, did I mess this up? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kinda did. I excavated one more block than I needed to. But eventually we have to line the thing, line the inside of the cable duct anyway, so it's not that much of a problem. Just fill that back in though, because I'm not supposed to take that out. Diagonals are so hard. Diagonals in Minecraft. I wonder how much, like, what are the economic benefits of things like high-speed trains in Europe, for example, or highways? I mean, obviously we can we know what benefits there are, but what I mean is exactly how much money is it worth? Is that even possible to calculate? Like the economic benefit of, let's say, the European high-speed rail network. I guess I mean, no, that doesn't count. Okay, I was gonna say, I guess you could consider all the people who use the train network and then calculate the cost of people using the train network, and then you look at the opportunity cost, or like whatever it is, the other side of it, which is if the trains went there, then what their cost would be to do the same kind of travel, and from that you might calculate the total economic impact. But I was gonna say it doesn't account for synergistic effects. Like if there wasn't high-speed trains, a lot of travel just wouldn't even happen. Because it would take too long or cost too much. So it's not like, oh, regardless of the transport, people are going to travel, and therefore you just say, well, people travel this much, and you just count the cost of each form of travel. Is that because there's this form of travel, people travel more than they would if there wasn't this form of travel, which is a whole different calculation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's not trivial, right? Because like synergistic effects, imagine you live somewhere and then you work somewhere else and you take the train to work every day. And the fact that there's reliable fast train service allows you to live where you are and work where you work. Whereas if the train service didn't exist, you maybe just couldn't live where you live and work where you work because they'll be so far away that you spend too long traveling to and from work, and therefore you can't do that work from where you live. Things like that. And let's say you have some sort of niche shop somewhere that sells, you know, very specific things. I don't know. Stamp collecting. Not to make fun of stamp collectors. Let's say you sell old stamps. But because it's such a niche thing that your business only works if you can get enough people to your shop. And people are only willing to go to your shop because the transport there is cheap enough that they can afford to go to your shop. So then if it went for the transport, your shop wouldn't exist. I guess you could do like a sampling. You would randomly sample maybe like 1,000 shops, and then you would calculate how many of these shops only exist because of synergistic effects, or like how much each shop benefit from synergistic effects, and then from that sample I guess you would just extrapolate and estimate the whole population, how much synergistic effects. Just trying to think how to do this without the survey being way too expensive and complex. One, two, three, four, five, six. Alright, so now we're across the bridge, the ocean bridge that is. Which brings us pretty close to the mountain part. Two, three, four, five, six. What time is it? 5 more minutes. Alright, let's try and get to the mountain before the end of the day. This is a little wider than I thought it'd be. But it still misses the mushroom. 1, 2, 3. And things like the Iraq War. I mean, there's been calculations for how much the wars have cost, somewhere around $4 trillion. But how much money has the Americans made? Have the Americans made from the Iraq War? I mean, how much of that money is like economic stimulus? How much of that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like the oil contracts? Did the oil companies actually gain money from this? How many jobs did the war create? Why the hell did Tony Blair think it was a good idea to join the Americans in the Iraq War? Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do remember at the start of the war they had some ridiculous low estimates for how much it would cost. Anyway, time's up for today. Let me just do a little bit more here. And then end the stream and the video. Alright, I'm gonna take a break here. The auto clicker really helped a lot. I don't know, like, objectively how much time it saved, but just in terms of the clicking and the gameplay, it feels a lot better having the auto clicker. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. See you next week.